So with all the ruckus surrounding the new chapter of Boruto to Vortex, I thought this would be a perfect time to react to a video like this. So if you're not involved with the Boruto community and all that, basically the conversation between KAWAKI and AMADO regarding AKEBI's revival has basically brought up the theory that AKEBI could be revived as a new OTSUTSUKI. And that's honestly been the topic of discussion for about the last 5 days. So I wanted to get my thoughts out on it, and I think it's a good time to get another reaction video out. So I was like, you know what? Might as well make a reaction. So it's Meek. He's been an OG in the Boruto community for a minute. You know, I was actually watching him before I decided to make videos myself. And I seen this video on my feed and I was like, you know what? This seems kind of interesting. So I think we're in for a treat, fellas. So first things first, we gotta show the love. That's the whole purpose of this little reaction trilogy, whatever I got going on. So 71 likes, you see on this video, 71 likes right now. By the time I upload this video, it should be a bit higher. All I ask you to do, all I ask you that's watching this video, all I ask you to do is go on this video and just like it, man. Just drop a like, bro. As I say in like 90% of my videos, it helps the video perform better in the YouTube algorithm. Every time you like the video, it gets recommended to more and more people. So let's just show that love, man. Drop a like on this video, drop a like on that video. I'm gonna leave the link to his channel down below in the description. And I might put it up in the top right hand corner. So, you know, am I pointing up at the top right hand corner? Or is it this way? I don't know. But anyway, let's waste no more time. Let's get right into the video.
As of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 18, KAWAKI tried to get AMADO to boost his offensive powers. KAWAKI was given a new karma thanks to AMADO. However, his powers have been capped due to AMADO's plan of reviving his daughter AKEBI. AMADO will need to keep KAWAKI alive or else his plan will be completely wasted and there would be no point of AMADO's use within the story. After shutting KAWAKI down, AMADO explained to him that he will boost his powers in order to fight the SHINJU since they have become a threat that not even AMADO anticipated. He tells KAWAKI that he will modify his powers to become more stronger on the offensive side to be able to fight them, however, only on one condition: to implant a karma onto a clone in order to revive his daughter AKEBI. However, KAWAKI rejects his idea because he suspects that AKEBI could turn out to be an OTSUTSUKI.
Yeah, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought this was very silly of AMADO. There's not a lot of times where I agree with KAWAKI on certain things, but I gotta admit, this is the one time I agree with him. It's not smart to do this right now, especially because there is some uncertainty that's surrounding this whole like karmic resurrection thing. What if KAWAKI revives AKEBI and then she turns out to be some crazy monster capable of destroying nations at a time? So now you got to deal with the SHINJU, and then you got to deal with this new crazy threat that emerged because of KAWAKI. So because of the uncertainty, it's better just to wait until the SHINJU are dealt with. That way, if the whole operation does go wrong, and it could very well go wrong, I'm actually counting on it to go wrong, then they won't have multiple threats at a time. They'll only have like one, maybe above Ishiki level threat. I don't even know. But that's not even the main reason I think this whole thing is stupid. Because AMADO said himself the reason he betrayed Jigen was because of him learning of Jigen's plans. And of course, we all know Jigen's plan came at the expense of the planet. So he was like, it made no sense to revive AKEBI in a planet that has no future. That's why he decided to try and kill Jigen, other than work for him. So the same logic applies here. The same thing will happen if they don't take care of the SHINJU in a timely manner. The planet will cease to exist. They are literally divine trees. So that same logic should apply. He should want KAWAKI to deal with the SHINJU before reviving his daughter. So, you know, that way him and his daughter will be able to live happy lives. All I'm saying, it doesn't make sense to revive his daughter in a world like this. Let Boruto and KAWAKI do what they gotta do, and then after, let's worry about AKEBI. But of course with AMADO, there is some emotion there because that's his daughter. That's his whole reason for still living anyway. Everything he does is to revive his daughter. So I get the emotion part there, I get the emotional part, but the logic gotta pop in somewhere. You know, logically, that doesn't make any sense.
If AKEBI's revival could be the introduction of a brand new OTSUTSUKI in the story. KAWAKI rejects the idea of reviving her through his karma since he wants to eliminate all of the OTSUTSUKI, and having to reborn another one would be counterintuitive to his plan. As understood back in Boruto Part 1, AMADO had access to AKEBI's memories, including her brain and genetic makeup, since she was dying of illness that had no cure. In order to save her, instead of trying to help the original AKEBI, he decided to make a new body for her to live in, via cloning. This was something that he was familiar with since he spent years developing the Kara cyborgs and seemed easier than developing brand new technology. Once AKEBI died, he created a new version of her with the same exact appearance and memories, but she was a complete stranger to AMADO. There was no humanity that existed inside of AKEBI that any normal human had, including AMADO, which is why he failed so many times to actually create her. It was not possible for AMADO to create a human that existed before, and was only possible through the domain of gods and their abilities, aka the OTSUTSUKI. We know the OTSUTSUKI clan have the ability to resurrect themselves thanks to the karma.
This can't end well. I'm just now thinking this can't end well. We learned from the SHINJU that implanting anything regarding the OTSUTSUKI, including the karma into any living thing, will come with a cost. We're literally seeing how the karma, more so Code's white karma, is affecting the SHINJU, right? I suspect that's the main reason for their rapid evolution. And of course it has something to do with their humanoid form. So implanting KAWAKI's karma, which has Ishiki's essence, so it is essence of OTSUTSUKI, which even though it is artificial, but it still has Ishiki's essence in it, so it is still related to the OTSUTSUKI. Implanting that into a clone body, even though it does have AKEBI's genetic material in it, it's still hella risky, because it is still made up of those OTSUTSUKI genes, you know what I mean? So regardless if AKEBI gets revived or not, she's not going to be normal. She's not going to be a normal girl. It just can't be. She can't be a normal girl. There's gonna be something special about her body. Maybe she develops some type of crazy ability, or her body is just damn near indestructible. So of course I'm against reviving her, but it's probably gonna happen anyway.
An OTSUTSUKI that we know was able to successfully revive their soul was SHIBAI OTSUTSUKI, who kept reviving himself until he became strong enough to become a god after devouring so many chakra fruits over several millennia. AMADO figured this out after meeting Jigen, who had the same idea with the revival of Ishiki, where AMADO became inspired by Shibai's continued resurrections that he plans to revive AKEBI the same exact way. Since AMADO had access to AKEBI's memories and DNA, he stored them into Kawaki's reconstructed karma, where the karma, unlike any other technological advancement, can give a soul to a person, which is what AMADO is betting on to give humanity to his daughter. Essentially, he's trying to bring back AKEBI as a human being that recognizes him as her own father, and not just as a complete stranger like he has done in past failed attempts. This is why KAWAKI was suspecting that AKEBI could be an OTSUTSUKI, since we know that only OTSUTSUKI have been proven to be able to undergo karmic resurrection. No ordinary human has been able to do it, and since we have only witnessed one true resurrection in the series, which is when Ishiki revived himself.
She's definitely not going to be normal.
AKEBI could have some ties to being an OTSUTSUKI. AMADO isn't liking what KAWAKI is saying to him about AKEBI, so he threatens to kill KAWAKI if it turns out to be true that AKEBI resurrected as an OTSUTSUKI. I noted this in my chapter review, but it's very odd that AMADO doesn't outright deny that AKEBI doesn't have any connection to the OTSUTSUKI. Knowing how bloodlusted KAWAKI gets when he wants to kill one, such as with Boruto, AMADO should be much smarter than that to not let KAWAKI become skeptical of AKEBI's origins, if this isn't true at all. He is not even defending his own daughter's genetic makeup, that she's just an ordinary human, but rather egging on a confrontation.
He has no choice. He has no choice, because he's counting on KAWAKI. He's counting on KAWAKI to implant his karma into her. Therefore, he's going to know, because he revived her with the karma already, he knows there's a possibility. It's really nothing AMADO could do in this situation. You just have to let KAWAKI be skeptical. And the messed up part is he's going to be watching her. Like, when AKEBI gets revived, he's going to be watching her like a hawk. Just for certain cues, certain suspicions that need to be proved right. And then, if he's suspicious enough, he might just say, alright, you know what? I'm taking her out. Because let's not forget, KAWAKI plans to unseal Naruto once every little threat is dealt with. Code, the Divine Trees, and Boruto, then you unseal Naruto. So if AKEBI turns out to be a threat, she's obviously going to be a threat to Naruto. And he doesn't take that very well. That's the #1 goal, just to protect Naruto. And we know how crazy KAWAKI can get over Naruto. So it doesn't take him much to suspect something is dangerous to him. And if that's the case, get him out of here. He's gonna get him out of here with ease. AMADO, you're gonna lose your daughter. Because if that's the case, he deals with Boruto code and everything. He's gonna be the strongest being in the universe. If he says, Amado, I want to kill your daughter, there's nobody that could stop him. So yeah, good luck.
He only agrees to revive his daughter once he kills all the characters he wants to eliminate, which will be a problem since this includes somebody like Boruto, and that may not happen for a while or at all for the rest of Two Blue Vortex. When it comes to Kawaki, he's a pure Otsutsuki.
About maybe like
to
3 or
Ishiki,
4 years, they
Momoshiki,
gonna have that
the
little
rest of the
fight.
purebred, simply because he was given a compatible karma. Kawaki alludes to this back in part 1 when he was talking to Boruto on how to defeat Code, where he reveals that he and Boruto can implant a karma onto somebody in order to prepare a vessel. In AKEBI's case, the clone that AMADO prepared would become Kawaki's vessel, but the karma has AKEBI's DNA stored inside of it, making it possible to bring her back. Whenever a vessel is implanted with the karma, they quickly gain the genetic makeup of an Otsutsuki, as seen with Boruto, Kawaki, and Jiken as well. Over time, they become a purebred Otsutsuki, which Kawaki alludes AKEBI could become. AKEBI may not be a purebred Otsutsuki originally when she was alive and before she died of a terminal illness, but she has the potential to become Otsutsukified, like everyone who has had the karma implanted onto their bodies.
Exactly.
AMADO clearly has a goal that he is not alluding to.
So it's not gonna go well
just
either way.
his daughter. Back when he was explaining to Naruto about SHIBAI Otsutsuki, he reveals that he has access to SHIBAI's remains, including his DNA and cells, where he used them to modify the other cyborgs as seen in the story, including EIDA, Code, Damon, and Kashin Koji. Each of these characters have a unique Shinjutsu ability that once belonged to SHIBAI. AMADO has already digitized that of AKEBI onto Kawaki's karma, and whenever Kawaki does implant that karma onto a clone's body, there could be a scenario where AMADO also inserted SHIBAI's data alongside AKEBI's as well.
And you know that would be something Amado would do to protect his daughter, of course. I mean, originally there would be no reason to do that if Amado doesn't plan to use her as one of his little cyborgs. But there could be a scenario where he does. The way Amado was talking to Kawaki, he already knew that there's a chance that AKEBI could be revived and she could very well develop and become an Otsutsuki over time. And we do see how emotional he is over that topic of his daughter. What I'm really trying to say is, I won't hold it past Amado if he decides to make a weapon or turn AKEBI into a weapon capable of going toe to toe with Kawaki, or even just protecting herself against him if he chooses to eliminate her. I'm pretty sure Amado is not banking on AKEBI to turn into a villain. I just think he'll want her to be able to protect herself. So the goal is to have AKEBI as an ally, but stronger than Kawaki. And the only way it could backfire is if AKEBI turns out to be a crazy Otsutsuki. And now you have a new villain who's stronger than Kawaki without his limiters. Yeah, that's going to be some trouble.
Another Shinjutsu technique for AKEBI if she is in fact revived at some point within the story. This could mean that AKEBI could have her own Shinjutsu technique that is powerful in her own right that Amado has been looking for, or potentially to follow in the steps of SHIBAI, who has transcended into a higher plane after resurrecting so many times over again. Amado is still a very mysterious character despite being as open as possible when it comes to providing information and not posing as a threat to the Leaf Village, but rather being a good guy. I can't put my finger on it yet, but I still think he's up to something when it comes to
too many
AKEBI.
questions we have unanswered.
On reviving her, and he expressed it quite clearly that if Kawaki were to ever die, his dreams would die too. And in my personal opinion, I believe his dreams are much deeper than just reviving his daughter, but potentially being something similar to SHIBAI. What if Amado wants to obtain immortality just like how SHIBAI has done to bypass death over the past few millennia? Is this why he's implanting SHIBAI cells into cyborgs to have characters do the work for him, since he knows he can control them via an emergency shutdown code? We've already seen Amado turn off characters like Delta and Kawaki, and the other cyborgs that have been created by Amado.
The thing that makes Amado so suspicious is because he holds something in his hands that could very well be the cause for destruction of this world. And that is the SHIBAI cells. It's like he's holding the power of gods in his hand. He has the power to create these beings that have abilities only gods are said to have. Now, that's pretty dangerous. That's a dangerous man. And he controls all of them. It's not direct control, but it's indirect control. You see how easily Amado was able to stop Kawaki. It's like he got a little invisible leash around all their necks. You see what I mean? So it's like, we really don't know Amado's true goals, but if it's not genuine, Boruto and the others are going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble.
There's an underlying truth when it comes to Amado's character, and we the audience have no idea about it just yet. AKEBI clearly is a play for a much deeper and darker plan for Amado, and while KAWAKI prodding about her potentially being an OTSUTSUKI has opened some pathways on what he potentially wants, because I truly think it's more than just reviving his daughter. So let me know how you guys feel about this video in the comment section
I do
below.
too. Okay, that was a pretty good video. Now it's time for you guys to tell me what you think. What we know so far is if AKEBI gets revived via Karma Resurrection, her DNA will be that of an OTSUTSUKI. So let me know if you think that's good or bad. Let me know if you think it's gonna backfire on the main cast or whatnot, or there's a possibility everything could go smoothly. Well, I think the best case scenario is we can possibly get an AIDA situation. A situation where she does manifest a Shinjutsu or any type of OTSUTSUKI abilities, but it's kind of like she doesn't want them, so she views it as a curse. So she won't be a threat per se, but she'll be someone you really just can't do anything with. It's like she's passively overpowered. Because AIDA can't really fight or nothing. If she didn't have her Shinjutsu, she would be pretty vulnerable. But the fact that she has it makes her pretty much one of the strongest characters in the series. Not strongest in physical strength, but just being broken. And that's the situation we could be looking at with AKEBI. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Will AKEBI's revival backfire? And let me hear your theory why it will or why it may not. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. Like I said before, it's Meek. I'm gonna leave his channel down below in the description, so go drop him a sub, you know, saying go like, go do all that good stuff, show some love from Six Paths Dunga. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.